What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Two Friends Fighting. I am Robbie.
I'm Jackson.
And today, guys, once again, I want to thank you all for listening to us week after week. So once again, as a gift to you guys, as our listeners, on my fitness business, if you use the code 2FriendsFighting, that's number 2, Friends Fighting,
Go check it out, guys.
You get access to 20% off all my training ebooks, as well as 20% off the first year of my Moss Fitness training app. So that's 20% off the first 12 months.
There you have it, guys. Right. Our first ever podcast ad.
Well, we did it last time.
We did it last time, but
either way, I'm getting better at it.
Not a sponsor. Not a sponsor.
Better. It's not an official sponsor. Although I could ask some of the people that I'm the brand ambassador for.
Oh yeah.
We'll see. Mm-hmm. It's like, hey, give us money though. I don't want to just do it. Just it's like low key, just like put your hand out and be like, look away, but like flex the fingers a little bit. And like, anyway, let's get started. Jackson, what did you get up to this weekend?
I actually went to Ottawa. Went to Ottawa this weekend.
How's
it was fun.
How are the restrictions?
COVID safe Ottawa. Went to go visit. Went to go visit my grandfather. I was being as safe as possible. Yeah.
The numbers are worse up there, or over there, I guess, than here.
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
I think they're worse here for sure. Definitely in Peel. Peel is definitely worse.
Well, we can get into reasons why, but let's not.
Oh well. But yeah, I went to go visit my grandfather and help my brother move because he moved into a new townhome, so that was pretty fun.
Oh, nice. Good for him. Yeah. Well, that lawyer money's paying off then, I guess.
Yeah, him and his wife, they're doing well. They're
what does his wife do again?
She's in marketing. I don't know her exact job title. Sorry.
Okay, so that's actually funny you say that because my girlfriend's brother.
Oh, quick shout out to Marty. Marty, if you're watching, I got you.
Okay. Yes, Marty. I don't know what that means, but hey, we got you. Yeah, actually, funny enough, like my girlfriend's brother is in marketing, but she doesn't know exactly what his title is. He just says in marketing.
Yeah, I think like the job titles these days are just like they're so specific. The job title, like I couldn't tell you what. My mom's retired now, but I couldn't tell you what her job title was.
Yeah, exactly. And well, there's new jobs.
There are some easy ones, right? Like personal trainer.
My parents are both graphic designers.
But even like janitors are like technically they're not like janitors. They're like cleansing technician
or sanitary expert or something like that. Sanitation expert or something.
Yeah.
Everyone tries to make their title seem more
on their resume, especially, right? They're like, you were the dishwasher. I was the restaurant cleansing operating manager.
Yeah. You got to make it sound like more like official. So you're large and in charge of something, right? Makes sense. Even though you just took out the trash once a week. Yeah.
So that's what we did this past weekend. I know.
I assume you guys just stayed inside pretty much.
We're breaking the fourth wall here, but we're recording this on a Monday. Probably gonna release it sometime later in the week.
Yeah.
But so we watched the Mike Tyson fight, which we broke down in one of our previous videos. That was pretty fun too. Mm-hmm. How about yourself? You do anything interesting?
I honestly did the exact same. Basically, I spent the whole weekend at my girlfriend's condo, just chilling.
It doesn't sound COVID safe.
Yeah, well, we have to wear masks as long as we're in the building outside the condo, so we do that.
You guys wear masks when you're kissing too?
Yes. We actually have to do a doggy style according to the COVID-19 safety tips, right? And masks on, only from behind. Don't even look each other in the eye. These are the rules.
Nice to see we're keeping that family friendly.
One of my friends went on his Instagram story and was like, he's also a trainer like myself, so he's like on his story as a joke, because like anyone wants a curbside pickup for fitness programming, let me know.
Oh yeah.
So me and him are super close, so I message him being like, so how about curbside sexual favors? Like, please, as a joke. And then he goes off. It's like, oh yeah, no problem. In the car, in the alley, anywhere you want, anytime. But masks on. Only do a doggy style based on these rules. And I'm like, but don't tell my girlfriend because she might beat me. I'm like, I know his girlfriend too. She's like, oh yeah, she'll probably beat both of us actually.
Yeah.
Or watch.
Yeah.
Or watch. I can't. Like, I'm really not sure actually.
Definitely watch.
She might watch. Yeah. She might watch.
Sorry
and then
for,
beat us.
Sorry for the cough there, Robbie. Just a moment earlier. Whenever I go to my grandfather's house, I'm breathing in probably, I would say my grandfather smokes probably 4 packs a day. So I was there for 2 days and 2.5 days. So let's see. How many cigarettes is that, would you say, Robbie?
I don't know how many
cigarettes are in a pack.
I don't even know, to be honest with you.
Don't know.
Probably like 10 to 20.
Let's call it 10 packs of cigarettes, secondhand smoke. The thing is that my grandfather, he smokes. We call him Jiddo. Jiddo is what we call him. I have Lebanese background, and in Arabic that's just what we call him. So my Jiddo smokes his cigarettes. He drinks his coffee. I'll be sitting where Robbie is. He just he doesn't care. He's wearing his sunglasses and it's cloudy outside. He blows the smoke all the time, right in my face.
You're gonna get your own smoker's cough without even smoking.
Yeah, like we went out of the house to help my brother move. We come back, open his house. As soon as you open the door, it's like you got like an assault. You got assaulted, like completely beat down by the smoke. You open the door and it's like, poof, all the smoke just wafts right into your face.
He basically hotboxes his own house the entire like 24/7.
He does.
It's like that movie.
And he sits by the oven fan there, the stovetop fan. He turns it on the lowest setting and he like thinks that it's doing anything.
Well, he's just trying. I mean, that's nice. It's like that movie Bad Neighbors with Zac Efron and Seth Rogen where they try to like, do the hot house and they just burn a bunch of weed. They like lock up all the windows.
Man, Seth Rogen's movies are all just like stoner movies, right?
Well, yeah.
Pretty much.
Have you ever heard his laugh? It is the definition of a stoner laugh.
You got him, James Franco, Jonah Hill.
Yeah. No, well, that's like his crew, right? This
is
the end. Yeah.
That's his crew, though. Who else is in that crew? Jay Baruchel was in This Is the End.
Yeah,
too.
Craig Robinson.
Who's the dude with the mullet? He's always got the mullet.
Danny McBride.
Oh
my God, have you seen? Do you watch Your Highness with him and James Franco?
I think so. Is that where like one of them's like a deer, like a fawn or something?
No, but they're both princes and they have to save.
It's like a fantasy movie, right?
Yeah. He kills the Minotaur and like tries to take off his horn, but he can't. So he takes off the Minotaur's penis and wears it as a necklace. Yeah,
yeah, I remember.
That is the most famous. Only in a movie would you ever see.
That's the only
Natalie
thing
Portman
anybody remembers about that movie, eh?
And Natalie Portman.
I didn't even know she was in it.
Well, only in a movie like that would Natalie Portman ever hook up with a guy like Danny McBride.
Oh.
Like that's the movie magic.
That is movie magic.
I gotta wonder if they write that, I'm like, okay, I want Natalie Portman to play my love interest.
Yeah.
That's how I would. That's
exactly how I'd write.
That's
in the off chance that like maybe she from your agent knows that she's single and maybe like they do the Angelina Jolie Brad Pitt
where
they fall in love. They
met on set.
They fall in love on set.
Cute. 5 years later we have like 17 different kids all from different races.
Yeah. I still like that Mr. and Mrs. Smith movie, man. That's honestly, a classic movie for me.
Fun movie. It's
that is a fun movie.
This is fun. We're just trying to kill each other. It's fine.
I actually like when I first watched it, I didn't know that they had ended up like that's where they met, right? On set of Mr. and Mrs. Smith. It might have a previous.
It might have been that one. I'm not too invested in that pop culture, but I know. Yeah. I know she left Jennifer Aniston. He left Jennifer Aniston for Angelina Jolie, though.
Yeah, I didn't even know that.
Either one.
I think I did know that.
Either one. It was because those two were married when Brad Pitt was on the episode of Friends.
Brad Pitt was on an episode of Friends?
Yeah.
I didn't even watch.
He was friends. His character was
friends religiously.
His character was friends with Ross, and he shows up, and he had lost like a lot of weight from like when he was younger in that show. But he hated Jennifer Aniston's character. Like that was the whole joke, even though in real life like he was the husband.
Yeah.
So for people who knew that and were really invested in their celebrity life, that episode was hilarious. And it was funny in general.
Yeah.
But it was like it's like that layering thing. Yeah, that was one of the.
I was
first
more of a
things I saw.
Seinfeld guy. Always on Seinfeld.
You can.
I feel like there are two types of people in the world, and then there's going to be, of course, there's going to be the third type, but there are mainly two types, right? You're either a Seinfeld person or you're a Friends person.
For those of you guys who don't know, I'm pretty sure if you asked Jackson any episode of Seinfeld, he can probably quote every single line.
I've watched every episode more than once, for sure.
What was it? 10 seasons of that show?
I think 9 seasons.
Okay. Well, basically, that's between 9 and 10 years of that show where you can go through each episode religiously. So
there are certain episodes that are like terrible. Like some episodes I don't like, and I've probably still seen the ones that I don't like at least twice, maybe 3 times. But the ones that I do like the Soup Nazi episode, like who can forget that episode? The marine biologist episode is a great one too.
Absolutely true. Apparently that show though, like that actual actor who the soup Nazi, like that show ruined his life.
Why?
Like he was only the soup Nazi after that, right?
That makes sense.
Yeah.
He's just walking down the street. Oh, soup for you.
Yeah. Probably. I think he actually was involved in like making soup as a career though, and like.
No way.
I think I could be wrong. Either way, all I remember is.
You know what? I think that they actually did open up like. Maybe he was involved with this, but I think they did actually open up like that soup shop after that episode aired because it was
maybe
so famous.
That might have been it. Yeah, like
maybe.
That character became so famous.
Yeah. What an episode! What a show! What a show! I'm not a hater of Friends. Like I actually picked up Friends a little bit later. Like I watched Seinfeld all when I was younger. Friends I picked up just because like everyone was telling me, oh, like you gotta watch, like all the Friends people were telling me to watch Friends.
That show was actually, it started the year I was born, so that's how old that show is now. It was like
Friends or
Friends.
Friends.
Yeah, 1994, like the year I was born. It was pretty crazy.
You know what? Actually, this is why I picked up watching Friends. Is because they'd always play it in the dentist.
Yeah,
the dentist that I go to, they always had. Like these dentists, they have like the TVs on the ceiling now.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've been to the dentist with the TV on the ceiling. Like they tilt your chair back and you're watching Friends.
Okay, well that's 1,000 times better than mine. My dentist plays the news.
Yeah.
CP24. I don't care. I'm already having a rough enough time with you stabbing me in the gums and making me bleed and saying, oh, you should floss more. Oh, bitch, I floss all the time. You're stabbing me in the gums and I'm watching CP24?
Yeah.
This is the worst hour of my life. That's why I don't go to the dentist that often.
You know what? It's actually kind of distracting though when you're in the dentist. You're watching Friends. Well, first of all, sometimes like one time I was there for like probably an hour and a half, so I'm literally lying there watching like 4 or 5 episodes of Friends in a row because they have it on Netflix where it's just like goes to the next one.
Yep.
Yeah, but at the same time, sometimes it's like pretty funny, obviously. But like you're trying to keep your mouth open, and they got like these tools in your mouth, and you're trying not to laugh. Like sometimes I'm like. I'm like choking on the fluid that they're pumping into your mouth, and
I still think my situation's worse because not only am I watching the news, my dentist tries to like have a full-on conversation with me. Like, I can't speak.
Yeah,
you are stabbing me in the gums. That's the one. Pumping water in my mouth. I'm just like,
Usually, like I like to try to have conversations with people that I like interact with. Especially if I'm like getting a service from somebody, like maybe a taxi driver or Uber driver.
I was gonna say you don't use a taxi anymore.
Yeah, Uber drivers, like I'll see if they want to conversate, right? I don't push it on them, but like I'll conversate with them if I feel like maybe they're bored, maybe this cheers them up a little bit. Mm-hmm. Then I actually feel bad when I go to the dentist.
You're doing a service
because they're trying to converse with you. They'll always be like, oh, so how are you doing these days? Like, oh, how's work? Oh God.
I don't know what they expect. They literally don't let us close our mouth for an hour, and that's a big part of talking is being able to open and close your mouth.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so frustrating. I'm just like, my jaw is sore by the time it's over. Like,
I mean, that's a thing. It must be so boring for them, right? Like they don't really get a chance to talk to people. They probably try to all the time, which they do.
Yeah. I don't know. You think they would, stop trying after a while? I don't know. So why I don't go? They try to book me again for.
Are you an anti-dentite?
And we're going back to Seinfeld.
He's an anti-dentite. He's a rabid anti-dentite.
Oh my God, that's right. That was the character who played the dentist was Heisenberg.
Oh my God, what's his name there?
The
guy who played Breaking Bad. What's his name?
Why am I drawing a blank?
Bryan Cranston.
Thank you.
Bryan
my
Cranston.
God, that would have driven me nuts.
Yeah,
that's right.
That was a funny one.
Was that one of his first like roles? Because I know like obviously what made him was what got him started was Malcolm in the Middle. obviously. Okay, well that's where I first saw him.
Yeah.
And I think obviously Breaking Bad obviously skyrocketed him for sure.
Oh yeah.
But I first saw him up.
Then he went on to like Godzilla and stuff like that.
Yeah. He was in How I Met Your Mother as a reoccurring character sometimes.
That's one
as
show.
Well.
Yeah, that one just went straight by me.
He's one of those guys who had a bunch of small roles here and there on these really famous shows.
There's a lot of those sitcoms that try to like pick up off of the success of Friends and Seinfeld, right?
Yeah.
Like Big Bang Theory was pretty big.
Yes.
Pardon the pun, but pretty big for a while, right?
Yeah.
It definitely fizzled out.
Yeah.
It definitely fizzled out. I don't like it when shows stick around too long.
I feel like Big Bang Theory hit its peak and could have stopped. I think they ended the series really well. In my opinion, the finale was a great episode. But I feel like the last 2 or 3 seasons could have just not happened. You know?
Yeah. Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah.
Like it was over, right? Like everyone. You know what they'd do? They'd build up a wedding for one of the characters in each of the seasons, right? Where you had Leonard eventually married Penny, right? And then you had the Howard, he got married. Then each season
Howard got married first.
He would have kids too. So like in one season, she's pregnant. Then the next season, we had our first kid. Then the next season, she's pregnant again. Then the next season, we had our second kid. You know, it was very, very recycled material by that point.
Yep.
Right, and then Sheldon got married.
Yep. It was just
I mean, you can't make the whole plot revolve around characters getting married. That's so boring.
I just feel like I agree with you because I feel like the first few seasons were honestly absolutely hilarious. I loved watching that show every week.
Yeah.
And then my interest slowly declined because it was the same kind of jokes, but it was funny when they were characters kind of in their 20s.
Oh yeah.
And these people are pushing 40 now by the time the show is over.
It's because it was something new, right? They're all nerds, and that was a really new concept for their show, right? Where they're hanging out watching Comic-Con, and Sheldon's got all his quirks, right? You can't sit on the couch a certain way, or you can't sit he had the specific seat on the couch.
Yeah. So that was funny in the first few seasons, and then after a while, just okay, I don't want to hear him say I don't want him to list those reasons a 17th time of why that's his seat, right? That's his spot.
Again,
Sorry,
it's
his spot.
You go on to the point where it's it's too many seasons, too many episodes.
Yeah.
You're on the air for too long.
Which is why it was impressive, in my opinion, that Seinfeld and Friends were able to go those 10 seasons.
And Breaking Bad too. Well, Breaking Bad didn't go as long, but I thought you were going to the point where they stopped at the right time.
Yeah.
So Seinfeld, I remember this was a controversy back in the day. Seinfeld was offered stupid money to do a 10th season, but they turned it down because they're we don't want to keep going to the point where it becomes unfunny.
Yeah.
And Breaking Bad did it too. I know the creator of Breaking Bad, he wanted to end it. I think they only did 5 seasons of Breaking Bad.
5 or 6, yeah.
And they already had an ending in mind, and they're okay, we're gonna stick to this ending because we don't want it. We like the quality of our show right now. We're gonna try to end on top.
Yeah.
It's super hard to end on top because it's like in any business. When you're on top, you get offered more money, right? So you have to turn down your largest paycheck ever to keep your art at a high quality.
The integrity of the show.
Right.
The same thing happened with Modern Family. It went too long. I'm not sure if you ever watched Modern Family.
No, I haven't seen it. I watched a couple episodes. My dad watched Modern Family.
You basically watch these kids grow up on, and it's cool, but if you go back and watch the first 2 seasons, absolutely hilarious show.
Yeah.
The last few not so great. One show that actually did it perfectly and did it at the right time was Schitt's Creek.
Haven't seen it.
Oh, it's on Netflix now. If you guys haven't seen it, amazing show. Does phenomenal.
So we've already given a lot of recommendations for sitcoms. If you guys haven't caught up on any of those,
well, hey, you got time on your hands, right? Actually, something funny. Speaking of going, I don't know, I guess too long in the game. I watched there's a new Kevin Hart comedy special on Netflix now. It's called No Fucks Given. Obviously, it doesn't say that.
Yeah.
Well, you've never been a fan of Kevin Hart.
I haven't really been the biggest fan. I think there was a point where he did peak, and he was I did like him at his peak, but I don't know. I think with even a lot of stand-up comedians, they reach a peak, and then it's obviously super hard to come up with really good material. It's easy to come up with good material, but it's hard to come up with really good material.
Well, you actually just made an excellent point, because what makes certain comedians famous is their material is good because it's kind of based on their experiences, and that's why. And obviously, they have the ability to deliver it a very certain way. You have to have good
delivery too.
Absolutely,
of course, right?
And I think Kevin Hart does have good delivery because he's very expressive. Because
he's animated.
He's small, so he's very compact with his energy, right?
Yeah.
Thing is, now he's made it. So his earlier stuff was very funny because it's like about his dad ruining his childhood and all his hard struggles. Now he's one of the richest comedians out there.
Yeah.
Right? So basically, he does this comedy special in his house because obviously COVID things. He has a few people, I can only imagine, paid stupid money to get access to his house.
Were his friends that came over?
Everyone was wearing a mask, so I'm not sure exactly who was in it. Small groups of people. Obviously, his house is super nice because he's Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
So maybe they might have been his friends. They might have been just people who have a lot of deep pockets and could pay God knows how much he charged to let them in his house in that room. But his comedy now is based on his experiences, and his experiences now are literally rich person problems.
Yeah.
So he's talking about how like, my kids, they're spoiled because when we go to amusement parks, I get them access, like we just skip the lines, right? So when they go without me, it's like they have to wait in line, and they're like, "Oh, Dad, this is awful." I'm like, they're spoiled. I'm like, that's just one of the experiences, but it's like, it's not relatable to anybody. 99% of people, he's part of the 1% now. And don't get me wrong, his delivery is still great. He's a phenomenal person, amazing charisma. It's just that I like his old stuff better, and it's one of those examples where it's like, okay, you don't really have to do a stand-up comedy special anymore because
it's like they're like making jokes. I left my Rolex in the car and I couldn't find my Rolex. Then I looked in my drawer and I found my other Rolex and I thought it was the same Rolex, but no. They're like joking about having too many Rolexes.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I would rather have a rich person's problem than a poor person's problem. But at the same time, speaking as I now currently have poor person problems, they're funny to me because they're relatable.
Well, like, okay, but even like going back to the comedians, right? It's like, okay, you had other guys like Russell Peters, right? Russell Peters was so big. Like 10 years ago, Russell Peters was huge, right? Everyone was quoting all of his jokes.
Somebody gonna get hurt real bad. Still famous.
Right? Still quotable. But now it's like Russell Peters put out, I think, a new stand-up comedy. I didn't even go check it out, but I know somebody who did, and they said it was awful. Right? It's hard to maintain that peak level of funniness. Even Dave Chappelle. Like Dave Chappelle, as he's aged, he's gotten to the point where, I'm not saying that Dave Chappelle is not funny. Dave Chappelle is hilarious, and I still watch his comedy specials, and I still think that they're great. But Dave Chappelle, like back in the day, that was some like extra level of hilarity. You know what I mean?
It comes back to like when they have like nothing to lose.
Yeah.
Right? And like they're hungry for it.
Yeah.
And they have this, and they're living these like experiences they can make funny, right?
Yeah.
And again, now they're all living in these $30 million houses.
They don't need like there's no hunger to write like extra good jokes. They've already established a name, and people are gonna laugh no matter what.
And they're still gonna watch. And again, I can't begin to imagine what those people must have paid to get into Kevin Hart's house to watch him perform in his living room.
Yeah.
He has his name engraved on the floor. He made his own little stage in his living room, and it looks fantastic. And obviously, he has earned it. He's gone through. He was broke. He had nothing. Now he's like one of the biggest names out there. He's best friends with the freaking Rock.
Yeah.
So he's earned his status.
I like those Jumanji movies. The new Jumanji movies are pretty funny.
Hilarious. Honestly, kudos to him when he obviously
kudos to Jack Black in those movies too.
Oh my God.
Jack Black steals the show in those movies.
When he had to play a blonde girl.
Yeah, that was so good.
But going back to Kevin Hart in the second one, where he had to play Donald Glover.
Oh, that was good.
He was so good at speaking like Donald Glover. He was amazing.
The Rock was so bad in the second one where he had to do like
he had to be Danny DeVito. Yeah.
You know what? I thought that it was the funniest though, because I don't know if he thought he was doing a good job at Danny DeVito, but it was so laughable. His accent was way off.
I actually think Awkwafina did a better job.
He's like, "What are we doing?"
Yeah. No, it wasn't. Spencer. I think when DeVito's character became Awkwafina, I think she did a better job of doing Danny DeVito's.
She was good. Yeah. Awkwafina was good.
She was the new character.
Awkwafina got her like breakout role in Crazy Rich Asians too.
Yeah. She was the blonde one. Yeah. That was a good movie actually.
It was good.
I think it broke a lot of stereotypes.
For anyone looking for a date movie, Crazy Rich Asians. Go check that out.
Also, goals for when you can travel the world again. Like, I know it's gonna be expensive, but I really one day want to go see Singapore. It looks absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, you're gonna have to have a lot of money to go visit there. Holy smokes!
You can probably spend 2 weeks in Cuba or one day in Singapore for probably the same price.
Yeah. Just like, yeah, it's very extravagant there.
Well,
from what I saw in the movie. I mean, there's probably like just like anywhere in the world. And
I think one of the biggest actually MMA facilities, I think the biggest one's Tiger Muay Thai, but I think Evolve MMA is in Singapore.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, and it looks fantastic. I follow them on Instagram. It'd be cool just to go see it and just train there one day.
Yeah.
As well as actually also they made a second UFC Performance Institute in Singapore.
That's right. Is it in Singapore?
I believe it's Singapore. They have one in Las Vegas, is the first one.
I know they were doing one in China, but I don't know if it was Singapore specifically.
I think it was Singapore specifically. Could be. But we'll double.
Because I know they're trying to expand out east there.
Well, they're probably trying to buy out the One Fight Championship because that.
You think so? They have a lot of interesting fights in One Championship.
Demetrius Johnson and Sage Northcutt went over there.
Yeah, but I like the Muay Thai fights.
Yeah, with the
Muay Thai fights in One Championship, they have the MMA gloves on.
Yeah, it's fun.
With Muay Thai rules, that's fun.
They do it in the ring, or do they
still do it in the octagon?
Okay, yeah, so they have more space. No,
not technically the octagon.
Yeah.
The UFC owns the rights to that, but the cage.
That's right. They do it in the cage.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, that's always fun to watch too. Just brutal.
Yeah.
But this goes back to something actually I listened to because I was listening to a different podcast. And
was it called Two Friends Fighting?
Well, I do. It's
like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Actually, it's really.
Here is your mid episode break for liking and subscribing.
It's actually really awkward for me to listen to myself talk on this podcast. So it's fun.
Yeah.
But I do it. I do it so I can like find certain things that's wrong with me and fix them.
Yes.
But it's really interesting. But I was listening to a podcast with a woman named Maureen Shea. She was actually the inspiration for Hilary Swank's character in $1 Million Baby. She's a professional boxer, and she was talking about the UFC versus like boxing and how like the UFC is actually like very, very smart in the sense that they've like monopolized the MMA game. Where in boxing there's like a bunch of different leagues, so you can be world champion here, over there for different promotions.
That's another one of my like big problems with boxing is like, okay, you have like who's the champion? Who's the world champion in any weight class? First of all, you have way too many weight classes. Like they're separated by like 2.5 pounds or something per weight class, or like 5 pounds. Too many weight classes. Then also it's like we have WBC, then you have WBA and probably 2 or 3 other ones, right?
There's the I think
there's supposed to be 4 of them.
The
right?
IBA as well.
It's too many.
It's crazy, and yeah, that's why you have champions. Like again, going back to Roy Jones Jr., he was the champion across 8 weight classes because he probably only had to go like 10 pounds difference.
Yeah.
Same as Pacquiao. Now, before I continue, those two are both absolute inspirations. They are amazing fighters. We're just talking about the different weight classes.
Yeah.
But yeah, what she's talking about how smart the UFC and then typically Dana White is for actually monopolizing the UFC as like the pinnacle of MMA.
Yes.
So that way, if you are the UFC champion, you actually are considered the
best in the world.
The best in the world.
That's right.
Whereas like if she's champion over here, but there's another champion over here who's actually better.
You never know. And then the fights are hard to put together because they're not from the same organization.
Yeah,
there's TV rights.
They sign a contract with a certain organization. Same as the Muay Thai rules. There's
exactly.
We can start a 2 Friends Fighting Muay Thai league and have fights in your backyard and have.
We'll say it's the world championship.
Yeah. A 2FF Muay Thai champion or something like that. It actually sounds pretty good.
Sounds pretty good.
But that's why she was talking about.
I like where you're going with this.
Right. Okay. So write this down.
Talk to your guys at Hayabusa, Robbie.
Yeah, we're gonna trademark this shit right now.
There we go.
Yeah, but she was talking about how like so for all we know, maybe the UFC is expanding that way because what they did years ago was buy out the WEC and merge them.
Yes.
Right. So
I don't think Strikeforce too.
Yeah, Strikeforce dissolved. They took all of the Invicta FC, which is the women's only league.
Yeah.
So they're just kind of like sucking everybody up.
Smart business move for sure.
Absolutely.
Their biggest competition obviously is Bellator now.
I don't see them ever buying out Bellator because I think Bellator is really trying to like.
They almost need them as competition.
Yeah, absolutely.
They need them to like have other guys and then just say we're better than them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I can totally see them, like, if they really expand to Asia, which is a huge market, because, like, a lot of those guys, if you watch 1FC, every now and then they'll do, like, live shows on Facebook, because obviously, or, like, it'd be, like, 4 a.m. because it's in Asia.
Yeah, yeah.
But they're amazing athletes.
Yeah.
Absolutely crazy.
I know they are.
So...
Yeah.
So I think
they don't have a strict drug testing though in the other organizations, right?
So yeah, probably not. So maybe the UFC is that's what they're trying to do, is eventually buy up that whole organization.
If they did buy up one championship, you'd see a lot of their guys start to deflate a little bit in terms of their physiques.
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah.
But or we're totally wrong, and they're just all
maybe
Asian beasts. Like, holy crap! Because some of them are fast, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely fast.
Especially the lighter weight classes.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Well, that's most of them, too. Again, okay, that sounds a little bit racist, but
yes,
like they typically tend to be small. Because you'll see, like, what's it called? Below straw weight, the atom weight division in Muay Thai.
Yeah.
It's like men at 105 pounds.
Yeah, crazy.
They can kick my ass still, but thank God, good Lord, they're small. They're fast, though.
Absolutely.
Holy.
Yeah, I know.
They are fast.
Okay, so Robbie, this is the first time we're going to be doing this. We're actually going to be taking some questions that. So you shot out a quick poll on Instagram, pretty quickly, pretty soon before the podcast episode, and we wanted to see if you guys had any questions or ideas for the podcast.
Actually, yes, guys, we appreciate the fast responses. I thought we would get like 2 or 3. We actually got a whole lot more than that.
Yeah.
So thank you guys. It means a lot to us that people are listening.
Thank you to the ones that kept it appropriate in the.
Oh yeah, you know who you are. We're not doing that.
We're not doing that. Okay, so Robbie, do you want to pull one up, or you want me to?
You have them there. It's easier. It's faster. I'll just pull my phone.
So one of the questions that our audience wanted us to cover was, what shows do you watch? I think we covered some of those shows that we watch.
Yeah.
Obviously, we went through Seinfeld, we went through Friends, we talked about a lot of the sitcoms.
I mean, at least right now, I'm going through The Mandalorian.
Yeah, we're both watching The Mandalorian right now.
So good.
If you haven't seen Mandalorian, go check that out. It's on Disney Plus. I'm not fully caught up, so I don't want to hear any spoilers. Nobody shoot me. I'm only on season 2, episode 3.
They gave the kid a name though, so you better hurry up.
No.
They named him.
Oh,
they named him.
I didn't even want to hear that. What a spoiler!
Oh,
I wanted the kid to just be nameless the whole show.
It was all you have to do is go online and be like, that was an article
I'm trying
across
to stay
the board.
away. I always stay away from those spoilers.
All right. Well, I'm gonna check back in with you at some point and get your opinion on what they named.
Oh, that's a good show though. Anyone who hasn't seen Mandalorian, honestly, that's so good.
They started bringing.
I don't even
characters.
like Star. Like I really don't much care for Star Wars, but that show is so good.
Actually, quick segue then. Star Wars or Star Trek? Or neither?
Still Star Wars.
Yeah.
I don't like Star Trek at all.
Oh, fair enough.
Not a Star Trek fan.
I like both, and I'm a Star Wars guy.
Yeah.
For sure.
May the 4th be with.
Yeah. If only it was. Damn it! We have to do a Star Wars based episode on May the 4th, or at least air it on May the 4th.
Star Wars or Lord of the Rings is a question.
Oh.
I'm easily going Lord of the Rings.
They're both so different in so many ways, but you know what? I'm gonna go with Lord of the Rings as well.
Man, you remember the scene with Frodo lying in the bed? He's like, Sam! Sam!
He doesn't even say Sam.
He doesn't say Sam?
No, and Sam's the last one to come in, and he just looks at him, and he's like, oh yeah, they both know.
Oh, he doesn't. I guess he doesn't say it, but in my memory, all I see is like, it's like a sunny day with like white curtains and like Sam's running in.
Yeah.
I think Sam had his shirt off too. Like Frodo was like, Sam!
I don't know. Maybe Jameson can clarify this, but there's a lot of.
And then they start jumping on. They start hopping on the bed with each other.
Yeah.
They did.
Everyone else was
That
there
happened.
too.
That happened.
Everyone else was there too. All the hobbits were there.
Merry and Pippin who were on there.
Oh, Merry
Sam.
and Pippin were on
The
there.
rest of the fellowship about other than Boromir.
Oh, that is right. Merry and Pippin were hopping on the bed.
Sam was in the last, and they were both like PTSD fucked up, so they're just like.
Yeah.
And Frodo looks at Sam, and he's got like we went through.
Yes, that is what happened. Sam comes in and Frodo, like, they just like nod to each other, or like really like.
We have to give
Good smirks.
Jameson
They're
a mic
like, "We did
next
it."
time we do this, so you hear exactly how he booked on the
Jameson's
scene.
got all the insider. I just make up scenes in my head about Sam with his shirt off, hopping on Frodo's bed.
There's actually a lot of theories though that like Frodo and Samwise were like written to be gay.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like, I don't believe it, but like, there's a lot of like, you go into dark parts of the web that I don't go to, but I've had conversations with
Man, Lord of the Rings was so much better than Star Wars. You got Schmeagol too. Come with me.
The lore of, I think both universes have amazing, because like obviously the main movies are what they're known for, but you can go into like different parts of the internet and there's so much like other outside stories from both Star Wars and Lord of the Rings that take place like hundreds of years before or after the main parts of the stories that we're familiar with. So both worlds by George Lucas and J.R.R. Tolkien are just so well versed, like they're so deeply made.
True.
Absolutely fantastic on both of them. But me as a lover of like fantasy, like dragons, monsters, like I love Star Wars, but I would choose like Lord of the Rings as well.
I think part of the reason is that we weren't alive when the original trilogy came out of Star Wars.
For Star Wars, yeah.
So maybe like just think about it, like it was such a big thing back in the day. It was like a pop culture phenomenon when those movies were coming out that we didn't experience.
Because originally no one at that point knew that Darth Vader was Luke's father. So when he dropped that line, Luke, I'm your father, that was like, that shook the world.
Like for me, my Star Wars trilogy is like episodes 1 through 3. Like that's the one that I grew up watching as a kid.
They came up. So it's funny because they came out when we were growing up. So we probably watched them first and then went to episode 4, which is like the original one. But the movie
it wasn't intended to be watched like that.
The movie quality was so much different because it was made so much earlier. So it's like you have this amazing CGI and then it gets reduced. Yeah. Right? And then as a kid growing up, you don't know why. You don't understand it.
Yeah, exactly. Like we're watching the pod races. I thought episode 1 was great when I was a kid.
I had that game on Instant
Everyone
64.
hates on episode. Yeah, I had the game too. Pod Racer, Star Wars Pod Racer.
What a marketable thing. Like they probably wrote that like, oh, we can monetize the shit out of this.
That was a fun game.
I would love the pod race. Like that was probably my favorite scene of that movie. Aside from like
just as a kid, like when I think it's probably better for kids than it was for the fans of the original trilogy.
Well, I think that's why they made them in that order and the way they did, because as we probably already know, attention spans have only decreased. Right? So if you watch the older movies, they're a lot slower.
What?
It's been 7 seconds. He lost his train of thought. Older movies were a lot slower, right? And like the intro just takes longer. They take longer to get through certain scenes. It kind of it feels like it drags on. It was great back in the day because everyone can pay attention. Yeah. Nowadays, everyone wants to get something new every 7 seconds. Yeah. So what they have to do? They had to make a cool scene with pod racing. It's like, oh, now kids are just like, this is so cool. They're racing. Yeah. And then they make Darth Maul with his double-ended blade.
Oh, So I still think Darth Maul is like one of the coolest characters. That guy was so cool.
He was a very cool character.
The double-sided lightsaber, he was like...
Every Star Wars game now, they'll make a character and they'll give you the option to customize your blade to either the single side or the double-sided.
Yeah. Just the acrobatics, too. He was doing like cartwheels and stuff. He was a famous stunt coordinator, Darth Maul. Yeah.
Do you know his name?
No.
Either way, well, you can't see his face because it's so...
and then they ended up bringing him back to life in like the later animated shows, right?
Star Wars, Clone Wars, and Rebels. Good shows. Yeah. Great shows. Man, that must have been a lot of makeup.
Yeah. So that covers... We actually covered 2 questions there. Star Wars, Star Trek.
Oh, that was
Star Wars, Lord of the Rings. We were answering what shows we were watching, right?
Yeah.
How about this one? Let's go with... Okay, just a simple one in terms of eating. We do a lot of eating challenges here. Yeah. This one's not going to be a spicy one. Just a simple apple pie versus blueberry pie.
I'm personally a fan of apple pie a little bit more. I love blueberries, but
I go for the blueberry pie. I don't like the texture of the I don't know. When it comes to pies, I don't like that hard crunch of the apple in the pie. I like the McDonald's apple pie because it has no like apple crunch inside. I like that.
I like apple pie because it goes better with ice cream, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think I'm just not the biggest dessert guy, so I'm probably the wrong guy to ask, but I'm definitely going to go with blueberry pie on that one.
I mean, regardless, you're going to end up with an amazing dessert, so... But I just happen to prefer apple, because I also eat apples like a fiend.
Yeah.
Like if I'm...
That's kind of weird.
No,
You're like the only guy I know who actually like just sits and eats apples.
Well, I have to keep myself occupied, or else I'll grab a bag of chips. So instead, I try to grab an apple.
I don't know. I just don't know anybody who eats just plain apples nowadays.
Really?
Like I think that's the last fruit I would go for. If I'm gonna go grab a fruit, like usually it'll be like a mango or banana or strawberries, blueberries.
I'll get a banana too, but I don't know. Like for me, like my house, my fridge is always stocked full of apples, so it's always just kind of there. So maybe it's a matter of like
you like apple
accessible.
juice?
No, actually I don't anymore. I did as a kid. I think I drank it too much. I don't know. Like
it's too like acidic.
Yeah, it's not my style.
Yeah, it almost like burns your throat.
I don't even like apple cider vinegar. I don't. And there's kind of like there's apple wine now, and there's apple kind of beer.
They're doing a lot of different flavors of wine. Right? They have like pear wine, like
a lot of them are good.
Remember when we went to that winery that had like? Were you? Yeah, you were there when we went to the winery that had like all different kinds of fruits that they made the wine out of.
Yeah, I was. That
there. Was good.
So, and if we were to ask this apple versus blueberry question about wine, I would choose blueberry. Yeah, I prefer blueberry wine.
They do make apple wine? I don't think I ever had that.
I'm pretty sure they
make like wine. Apple like cider for sure.
Yeah, there's pumpkin wine. I think. I don't know.
They made like black currant wine. Remember that one was good.
I'm sure they make wine at every fruit these days. I don't know. I love eating apples, but the products they make with apples doesn't seem to sit well.
Well,
with me.
We know that Robbie is the Isaac Newton of our team here.
Physics lesson for y'all right there.
Okay, how about let's see. Okay, how about this one? What is your go-to drink at a bar?
Wow, to be honest, it's been a while since I've even been able to go to a bar, so I can probably forget. But I mean, I was pretty basic. So, for those of you guys who
pumpkin spice latte.
What kind of bar do you go to?
You said you were basic.
True. I don't know. I usually just get a pint of Canadian beer. To be honest with you, like
pint of whatever they have.
Most Canadian, yeah, Budweiser, stuff like that.
As my uncle would say, beer's a beer.
Beer's a beer. Yeah. Honestly, like I don't typically do like shots unless I'm hanging out with you.
No, I don't do shots,
buddy. Oh, depends on the scenario, but. Well, obviously, when I was younger, I did a lot of shots.
When we were younger, yeah. When you're younger, of course.
I can't handle it one anymore, so I go for the beers.
People do when they're in like university.
Yeah. Well, when I was single and a girl would be like, "Want to do a shot of tequila?"
Yeah.
I'd be like, "Yeah, sure." Even though tequila just burns my insides and my soul, I didn't like it. It typically didn't end well for me.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that was my answer. Yours? I feel like only I've answered.
Yeah, I'd say. I like to mix it up. Usually, I don't usually get like the same thing every time I go out. I think that gets too boring just having the same thing every time.
You get a Don Julio neat and you know it.
That's what I was gonna say. So yeah, usually I go with like the Don Julio tequila neat. If I don't go for that, I'll probably just have like an IPA or something like that.
You do like the IPAs.
Maybe some Johnny Walker.
Although in your defense, like as I just said, I don't like tequila, but I can actually drink Don Julio. It's very smooth.
That's good.
Don Julio Reposado.
Yeah.
I hope it's still open, actually. Remember, we went to this bar for his birthday a couple years back. It was actually called Reposado.
Yeah.
They had a bunch of different tequilas all over the world. There. Very expensive, but
we had a good time.
A really nice place. I can't remember where it was downtown. Probably in the classier area. Really nice. I actually hope they're still open.
I hope so.
Yeah.
That's one thing we were talking about before the podcast is just like the fear that your favorite place is going to close down.
Yeah. Actually, on that note, then, guys, if you have any small businesses that you like really like and hope they don't close, please feel free to leave a comment about it, and we'll try to like check it out and support them as we can, or DM us and also give us more suggestions, because we like to do like little shout outs and support Toronto businesses. So maybe in our next couple of podcasts, as we get closer to the holidays, we can talk about like what businesses that we should support, because obviously as holidays approach, we don't keep having to support Amazon and Walmart. Their profits are way up, where all these small businesses are going down because of these closures.
Yeah.
So shop local 100%. Curbside pickup's still a thing.
Yeah.
And again, please, let us know. We have a platform that we can get this message out to different people. If there's a business that you like and you want to see it be able to make some money, let us know, and we'll do our best to like get the word out there.
For
Absolutely.
Sure.
So yeah, please, because the there's a bunch of things on Instagram of, I think, on like one of the main business streets of Toronto where all these small businesses are just closed up now.
So I think that's something that maybe we can make as, so what we're fighting for this week, maybe we can have a group one. A team one. We're both fighting for the small businesses.
Yeah.
This
absolutely.
week, right?
100%.
I think we're both really trying to get the word out about small businesses. Really support them in any way you can. If you have a favorite restaurant, go pick some food up, right?
Yeah.
There's still, most restaurants are still open for pickup.
Yeah. If your friend has an Etsy page, or she's making her own candle, he or she is making her own candle, something like that, or independently owned coffee shop that you like, right? Like,
for sure.
Things that aren't necessarily doing so well right now, despite the closures, like, shout them out on our platform. We'll drop their names. Happy to do so. And we can, and maybe it's a good way for you to figure out your shopping for Christmas this year, right? Like,
oh yeah.
And support small business, and give your significant other or family member something of significance from a different local business. You know, support small business, shop local, all that, all those hashtags.
Yeah, awesome. We hope you guys enjoyed this episode today. It was a little bit of a different setup today, right? We were just sort of.
Yeah. We didn't really have like a specific topic we wanted to go to. We just wanted to field some of your guys' questions. We also we like it when we just have natural conversations that aren't really brought about by anything. Well, this is kind of how we started this podcast. Before COVID, every Thursday we used to spar, and then go to a local Joey's restaurant in Markham and just talk, right? And eventually we're just like, yo, we should start a podcast. And lo and behold, here we are in a pandemic. We have all the time in the world. So
absolutely,
I don't know. We tried to like get back to the root of like why we want to start it versus picking a topic and stressing ourselves out about it. So
if you guys have any more topics or ideas, challenge ideas, questions,
and opinions too, like maybe, for example, you guys didn't like how we didn't have a topic this time, let us know, and maybe we'll go back to the picking a topic. We're here to.
If you did like it, make sure to leave a thumbs up.
Yeah.
Subscribe,
comment, and if you're listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, please download and share the.
Give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts.
Spotify doesn't do that, but you can please share it to your Instagram story. Tell your friends about us. We can get this message out, especially as we approach Christmas, and you want to get your small business people to more shout it out. We can hopefully progressively do that.
Yeah, thanks for listening, everybody. This was awesome.
Yeah, thank you guys. Hope you guys have a great night.
Once again, for Two Friends Fighting, I am Jackson.
I'm Robbie.
Peace, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Pretty the same sentence, so there was this decline right there. It's like, oh, that's the same thing.
I'm handsome, I'm pretty, I'm attractive, I'm beautiful.